Good day, everybody. My name is Orest Zwozdesky. I'm an Indigepreneur here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I'm coming at you today grateful that you bothered to hit play and grateful that you're tuning in. You're probably wondering to yourself, perhaps, what the heck is an Indigepreneur? And what that is an indigenous entrepreneur. I'm a Métis person originally from Saskatchewan. I've been in business now since about 2009. My whole thing is about having people get grounded within themselves, having people connect to that higher sense of themselves and getting away from the model of lack or that place of fear or anxiety, or when we show up and we're a little sad or depressed. It's about getting people into a different mode so that they can connect those soul forces with their will forces and ground and anchor that energy in the world. Because each and every one of us, just according to some of the old indigenous ways of knowing, we're like a hollow bone. We're a channel for the Creator's goodness and the light that is available to us to access. And so part of what I do with people is help them get present, help them tap into those inner resources, help them tap into their own personal sense of power and identity and belonging. We're always tracking towards something in life. The question is it something that we actually want? We can figure out what it is we truly want. And lots of times we know what we want based on what we don't want. And so that's great, right? Some of us just know what we want. I think the key here is to get together and work in a coaching capacity, as an example, to get together and work to be able to clear ourselves. Essentially, that's what part of our work is, in holding space and asking people powerful questions. Allows them to get clear within themselves, get grounded and anchored in their body, present in the moment, and access those inner resources and access that higher state of mind to be able to roll out in front of themselves that field of vision and what's showing itself to us. I refer to this as like an environmental scan, because when we look out there outside of ourselves at the people that are influencing us, at the people that are in our immediate environment, they're always reflecting something back to us. And so being able to tune into what that something might be is a way of getting feedback. We can certainly ask people that we trust, and it's a key that it's people that we trust. We can ask them for feedback, but we can also take a look outside of ourselves and see what the environment, see what the people in our immediate environment, see what they're presenting to us as feedback as well. When we get access to those things, we can start to figure out which way we're tracking. And am I on track or am I off track? Am I moving towards those things that I really want to create in the world? Or am I moving towards those things that are going to create more hardship or more sort of drama? It's almost as though like you're the producer of a movie. And are you creating the horror film? Or are you creating this exciting adventure here on the Earth's playground and dialing up experiences that you want to have? Does that include travel? Does that include adventure? Does that include close family relationships? Does that include having your own family? Like, sky's the limit. We're here to co-create whatever it is we want to experience in the world. That's on us. And yeah, some of us get off to a rough start to life because of our family of origin, but that's fine, because we can overcome those things regardless of whatever the circumstances are. If we truly choose to allow ourselves to move forward in life, that opportunity is available to us. So that's some of a little bit about some of the life coaching work that I get involved with. And I have a program, a couple of different programs, workshops. One is the Reflective Alignment Workshop that's more in a retreat setting and has been primarily focused towards men. I find it interesting because a lot of times I'm working with indigenous communities, First Nations, Métis communities, or organizations in training and employment sort of capacities. And what I'm getting out of people is helping to get them clear on a vision that they want to pursue in terms of training or employment or some sort of career that they want to launch into, and helping them get really focused and set some goals. And goal setting can seem like a weird thing if you've never done it, but I've come to realize in my own life, and this is part of what's helped me pull myself up and out of past circumstances and struggles with addiction and abuse and living in a violent kind of a lifestyle. I've grown to realize that that goal setting and setting that vision out front of myself and reflecting on things and journaling and speaking with people that I trust about my life and coming to understand myself in a deeper way. It's like this scientific system that allows us to put out in front of us in that field of vision, seeding the field, if you want to call it that, and starting to move forward in our lives. The interesting thing is that it's easy for me to say that, and it seems somehow harder for other people who are just starting off on certain ventures, kind of like the hero's journey, if you want to call it that. They're off on this adventure, or they're off on this pathway because something inside of them is calling to them and telling them that it's time to change. Whatever your experience has been like so far, there's something now more deeply rooted inside of us that's calling to us, and we can answer that call, or we can avoid that and continue to have life circumstances grow increasingly more difficult. And once we begin to dial into what that calling is, we can begin to understand what we choose as our purpose or our mission here on earth to be, and we can start tracking towards that. And a beautiful way to start to help keep us on track are just setting some simple goals to start. And you look at our Native community, from my understanding of the teachings that I've been given, that used to be, a journey that a young man would take or a young woman would take through ceremony and things like that, and they would be able to understand themselves in a different way, or go out and fast and have a vision, or these kinds of things. So lots of things in the community and the dynamics, we were being mentored and shown about ourselves, learning to understand ourselves, but having that vision, gaining an understanding of what gifts and what talents or what abilities that we have or that we carry. It's kind of like that medicine that's mine to carry and to share and offer to the larger community in the greater good, moving our community forward in a good way. These ancient traditions and practices still have tons of value to help inform, as Indigenous people, who we are, and even non-Indigenous people, of course, because everybody talks about vision and that pathway moving forward. And so when we allow ourselves to tune into those organic, repetitive messages that keep showing up on our radar, we can start to take note of that and begin to start tracking towards something, set a goal and start tracking towards it. And so to be able to flesh that out, be able to go through different processes and using different tools through the course of the Reflective Alignment Workshop. I've got a new offering that's going to start to come out here pretty soon called Star. It's something that's related to star power and understanding what that is. I find it fascinating because I think a lot of times we look outside of ourselves and we're drawn towards places like Hollywood and looking at movies because they're so popular. And we throw people up on a pedestal because we see, oh my God, they're this star, they have this incredible gift, talent, or ability, and they're sharing it up on the screen and really stepping into their brilliance. That's part of modern day society. We've been taught to look outside of ourselves. I think the reason that we hoist them up and see them as stars is because it's like disown parts of our own star power. And through the course of some of the things that we do in the workshops, we can begin to step back into our own star power and begin to learn how to shine and to be brilliant and to really magnify and develop a strategy and a plan on how we can begin to roll out our gifts and our talents and our abilities and create the life that we really want to create for ourselves and for our families and for our communities. So I get the opportunity to be able to help facilitate this process that brings people closer towards themselves and a deeper understanding of who they are, and begin to anchor and root that inside their nervous system in really profound ways that help to open people up and help to change lives, help to shift pathways. Maybe I was walking in a destructive pathway, now to more of a, getting my needs met in a constructive way, and doing things that make me feel good inside, and doing things that are helpful and to be of service to others in the community or within my family, or however, right? There's the star power, there's reflective alignment, there's the Rise Up Empowerment vocation program, and it's all based around roughly similar concepts, but I'm doing that in a workshop format. I'm doing that in personal coaching. I'm helping solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, business folks with smaller organizations and operations get their dreams off the ground. You have an idea for a business? That's awesome. Like, let's flesh it out. Let's make it happen. Let's align you with your own star power and magnify your gifts, talents, and abilities and get you out there in the world sharing. We're all here to create a better world for the future generations that are coming in behind us.